You had gotten you had a bit of a rough time in room number 3, I believe. But you guys
Sure
were
did.
resting and recovering with your newly found, you know, little bit of loot. Minor thing. Shaped piece of metal, nothing important. You guys actually did so much work in room 3 that you ended up leveling up. Anybody want to tell us about anything exciting that they had?
I
I'm
get
sure
to
that-
hit people more often. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will, and I'll use it right now.
So
Raise your-
does 1218.
Raise your
You can
hand
hit
if you
people.
got. Raise your hand if you got extra attack at level 5.
I'm pretty sure every class.
We do.
And I also picked up Font of Inspiration, which means I regain all of my inspiration die on a short rest instead of a long rest.
I have uncanny dodge.
I have subject
Oh.
analysis.
I can reduce damage by half now.
Meaty
I don't
dad.
think I finished leveling up because I now remember that I probably got a second thing.
As everybody else describes their cool stuff, you're like, I just hit stuff better. What's that?
Yeah, 1218 could look at stuff and then get critical hits on an 18 or higher.
Just by
Did somebody
looking at
just
it.
put F in the
Yes.
chat at me? Did somebody just verbally say F at me?
Basically.
Right, so you guys are beefcakes now. You guys got a lot of stuff. Level 3 taught you, well, I mean, that fire is good sometimes. And that this facility might be a little more dangerous maybe than you were expecting. And
I have a new thing, and I'd like to use it right now.
go for it.
Words.
Oh, good God.
Jesus. Okay.
Doesn't even fit on the stream either.
What the fuck?
Intuition.
Oh, this is some powered by the apocalypse shit. I love it.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to give me a second to actually read all the things that are on here.
You get to be
Do you
asked
know-
questions.
Do you know, let's see. Alright, so sounds like you need to make a wisdom check. Based on the wisdom check, you get a certain amount of questions. If you don't want to use the ones on the following list, you're gonna need to kind of... We'll see about answering them. But yeah, go for the...
Bye, Ben.
Yeah,
Hi,
let's see.
Ben. Wisdom check. Hey.
Nice.
Okay, that would qualify as a result of 20 or above, so...
I would like to know, are there any dangers I haven't noticed? I would like to know what is the best way out of this place. And I would like to know what here is not what it appears to be.
Alrighty, so, dangers that you haven't noticed. Let's see. And you're talking about this facility as a whole, or the lower
Talking
level,
about
or...
the facility as a whole.
Okay, so, let me see. Is there any specific way that I have to answer this? Must
Honesty.
provide an... Well, damn. I can't lie to you flat out. Well, that just throws out my whole GM style. Okay. Qualify their answer in any way they like, but they must provide an honest answer. Okay, so, are there any dangers here that you haven't noticed? Yes. I would say, to give you more detail, emphatically, yes. Yeah, there are dangers here that none of you have noticed. The best way out, I mean, the best way out of here is the way that you guys came in. There's no other way out that you're aware of. That you guys cleared already, so that is your best and safest way out. What here is not what it appears to be. Given the information that you have now, I would say that the experiments are not what they have been communicated to you to be exactly. I can't answer that as a whole on the facility part, because I'm not quite sure, what each character thinks is really going on here, what the main goal of this facility is. But given the information that you have via the computer readout so far, the experiments are not all what they appear to be.
Okay.
A little more information on that last one. I will say that there is one experiment room that is exactly as it appears to be, as kind of like a little extra, since you rolled ridiculously well on that. It is what it appears to be.
The tooth room.
Yeah, fucking tooth room.
These came out exactly the way we wanted. Okay. This is all wonderful to know.
Which I believe is experiment 2.
I have no more questions being asked, so I can't tell you if you're right or not. But, remember those Sesame Street games of one of these things, not like the other ones? Okay. But that is cool. I like that. That's a good ability. I feel like that's very Julie, too. I'm surprised you didn't really pose that to your other fellow adventurers, though, considering how much you don't really trust them. I know that at the end, so given the answers that Julie now has, I know at the end, Julie and Ethan, you guys were like, come on, pull over further to the side away from these crazies. What's really going on here? Did anything actually come of that? Do you guys want to discuss that at all?
We had a conversation about why certain things are happening.
Okay.
Considering Julie knows them for all of 3 days. That I'm sure the results of that conversation may become apparent later. But me and Peyton had a conversation about
Alrighty.
things.
So we'll wait and see if and when either of you feel like sharing that with the group. In this resting and leveling up, anybody else having any side conversations or doing anything else of note before? Go ahead.
Yeah, Bishop is up where that compact reloading bench is and reloaded basically all of the charges from it. There's like 2 charges for improved bullets left.
Okay. Note on your sheet.
Yay, bullets.
And afterwards, he's going to completely dismantle the thing to take with him.
You guys have got to have like the biggest rucksacks known to man now. Dismantled the computer upstairs.
Dismantled a couple of laser turrets.
Dug out of the wall. Yes.
It's not the size of the rucksack that matters.
It's how many you can pile onto 1218's back.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the interdimensional space on the inside.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's too long to fit on a t-shirt, 1218. Damn it. Alright, so Bishop is bullets.
Tiny font.
Bishop
No,
is
it's gotta be a-
the compact reloading bench.
It's got to be a too long shirt.
Night shirt.
It's got to be like a sleep shirt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that goes all the way down to your knees.
If you're too close, or if you're reading this, you're too close.
Print the whole fucking thing on like a maxi dress or something. I don't know.
Well, if adventuring doesn't work out, Anders, you've got some good t-shirt ideas for the wastelands. Alright. Anybody else? 1218, did anything happen with Bitsworth with leveling up? Is he feeling any more fancy?
He will have to take a long rest for any fanciness to happen on that part.
Well,
Because he has to actively do changes. Yeah.
okay. Well, you guys are relatively safe in here, I'm sure. Ish. Alright. Anders, anything from you before we kind of go off of what you guys said the last time before we ended the session?
Yes, I found out what my second thing at level 5 is. It gives me temporary hit points.
Ooh.
Nice.
So the
Now,
tank becomes more of a tank.
I do need to roll.
now, my question is the power armor temporary hit points?
No, the power armor is armor, and it has hit points.
Cool. Okay, that works then.
How many roughly temporary hit points did you get?
Level plus Constitution modifier, which right now is 7 per short rest.
That's still
Short rest.
a lot of stuff to get through before they actually get to you.
Yeah, so it's the power armor temporary hit points and then my regular hit point. It's a lot of bullshit.
All right. So, anybody else want to show off any other cool stuff besides Julie, Anders, temporary hit points? Bishop has all the good ammo. I believe you guys said that based on your looting of room 3, you guys were heading back upstairs or leaving. Did we have a definitive decision on either or?
I mean, we found the key to the computer, so I say we go to the computer, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah?
think that was the plan.
Alrighty. So we will transition up there. You guys are already up there. Alright, cool.
Is anybody grabbing Bishop along the way?
Wait, why are we grabbing Bishop?
Because Bishop is in a completely different room from you guys?
Which
I
room?
mean, we have to
Bishop
we
in?
have to
have
walk
to-
past you. We'll flag
Oh,
you
he was
down.
in the armory. Okay.
Did you shut the doors, Bishop? Just don't mind me. Leave me alone.
No. Because if they started screaming, I would have liked to have heard it.
Well, I think you're gonna notice. Chung.
Yeah, I was about to say there's suit of broken power armor that's limping its way past that room as we go up.
Bishop is dismantling a big something or other. It's been
It's compact.
clanging. Well, it's nice that Bishop specified that he would like to know if people were screaming, not necessarily to help them, just would like to know for information purposes. I feel like everything with Bishop's verbalization now is carefully worded.
I mean, out of the entire party, the only one that he trusts is, well, the only one that he really trusts is Anders.
That's a
And-
bold statement.
And 1218 to a slightly lesser extent.
What did
The
Ethan
cannibals
do?
can go. The cannibals can just.
Ethan is apparently a cannibal
Yeah.
from the hour that he was tripping.
Yeah. Ethan and Julie are cannibals. He's being very cautious around those two.
Alrighty. So you've got some weird party dynamics going on. Seems like Ethan and Julie are kind of whispering about. I mean, Ethan's probably like, please don't leave. Like, you can shoot things well, and now quietly, please don't go. And Ethan is like, Bishop, I'm still not a cannibal, but okay, sure. 1218 is like, no more drugs for any of you, ever.
But I need it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Slightly less extent, you passed your
yes.
horrible addiction check.
But I need it.
You know
Thanks to,
exactly where it is.
Thanks to Bishop's inspiration.
Yeah, that was clutch.
Yeah, that was clutch because that gave you exactly what you needed to pass.
Way to not be a cannibal. Good job, Anders. Alright, so you guys head back upstairs. Who's got the key?
I think Ethan.
I'm fairly certain it was Ethan.
I assumed it was Bishop because Bishop's the one that's at the console and would be the one who's most inclined to notice that shit.
Well,
Well,
I
it
mean,
was-
this
it
is
was
our positioning
Ethan
based
and-
on how we were last.
Yeah, it was Ethan and Julie who got the key from the room, right?
Yes.
So one of them has it just by they got it.
Yeah.
And it's been Ethan's mission for 3 sessions to find out what the fuck's going on. with
Alright,
this
we're
console.
giving it to Ethan. There's one
Ethan.
chair, it's the Ethan chair. Alright. So you go over to the computer. You I assume are putting in the key. Is everybody like clamoring around behind him? Are you guys all searching the room some more? What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna hide.
You could
I'm gonna hide
hide.
somewhere.
They're gonna see you.
Yeah, Bishop. is
Whatever,
just gonna-
whatever horrible thing this unleashes, I'm not gonna be the first thing it sees for once.
Yeah,
Well-
Bishop is just going to stick next to the hulking suit of broken power armor.
Oh, that's right. It
Use
did
it for
break.
cover.
Just
It is
after we got it.
fairly broken, yes.
But
The
still
frame is
provides
still
good
functional.
cover.
The frame
Yeah,
is still
the frame
functional.
is good. It's just were both shoulders broken? Or no, one of them was never fully fixed.
Yeah, both arms are now again broken.
Rough shape.
Oh, wait a minute. Does that undo my progress on the arm that I kind of got a quarter done?
Well, if it doesn't repair fully, I don't believe there's a chance to remove the defective trait.
But you gave me 4 out of 16 progress on that left arm. Am I back to 0?
I mean, if it doesn't have its hit points. Yeah, that's like unless you can, like, you have to get it up fully repaired to be able to remove
Son
it.
of a-
Yeah.
Son of a damn it.
Gosh, it sounds like you guys could use a long rest in this clearly very safe place.
I will remind everyone that the DM had to tell me honestly that there are more threats in here than we know about.
There are also a lot of doors you guys don't know about, too. Well, no, I think you know about most of them.
Bishop is all for suggestion that Julie and Ethan sit in the cage for safety.
There's like animal guts in there, but alright.
That's his tactic to convert them out of cannibalism. Duh, animal guts.
If they really go in there, then they are cannibals, and it confirms it. It's like one of those just bad no matter what you do. Yes, back to the key. All right. So Ethan sits down. Julie is hiding behind one of the crates. Yeah. Ethan, you're not sure if it's one of those, computers that as soon as you turn it on, lasers start shooting out in all directions, but who knows?
Hey, we're gonna find out.
It's all good. So you get over there, you put the key in, and it's just got this, like, as you're putting it in, you can almost feel all the clunks kind of locking it into place. It's, after this long, Ethan, it's immensely satisfying to you that you finally got this stupid key.
Yes.
And you guys are able to access it. It seems pretty underwhelming when it finally buzzes to life. It has a few different links on it. At the very top, it has... I didn't have any screen captures for you guys, because that took forever to make, and it was wildly underwhelming, in my opinion. So, at the very top, it says communication to Biocenter 1, communication to Biocenter 2, and communication to Biocenter 3. And underneath that, it has further personal logs, and that is the 4 links that you have. You do see in the lower right-hand corner of your screen a blinking triangle with an exclamation point in it, and it's just kind of pulsing in the lower corner.
Blinky light.
Blinky light. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll try and see what that's all about.
Yeah. So, kind of going to click on that, it just takes over the whole screen, brings up a 4-digit timer with a colon in the center. So it says 00:00, and above that it says room 4. And then clicking anywhere on there again just kind of zooms it out.
And that is the one we went into, right?
That is not.
No, what? Oh no, we went into 3.
Yes.
Shit. All right. Hey gang, and you'll try and bring people over near the computer. There's a warning. Something about a timer in room 4. Which one? Which experiment was that?
You guys will remember. I believe you have them available as your handouts still.
Trying to find them now. There we go. 4.
Don't remember what 4 looked like.
So 4 looked when.
Adaptability of agriculture flora.
Yeah. So biocenter. That's the biocenter. So that's the whole goal of this facility, as far as you're aware, unless they're all called adaptability of agricultural flora, but that would be weird. Experiment 4 was specifically harsh environment growth activation. That was the title. And that was the room that looked green. We can actually bring you over to the image, if that's helpful. You can remember. It looked to have a water, like a kind of river lake in the center that looked fairly deep. Lots of vines, lots of rocks, kind of cliff faces, and lots of green leaves.
We got the nature checks necessary to know what the taxonomy was, right?
You absolutely did. Yep.
So we got. I just googled them again. It's trees with long vines, fucking snakes.
I don't remember that being the
palm-
actual definition, but yeah.
Palm trees and California pitcher plants.
There you go.
Are the 4 of them.
Ah, so horribly cannibalistic.
Everything's painted in that light now, isn't it?
Yeah, I do not want to go into that.
Also,
We'll
the
see.
ambient radiation of that room is 25%.
Ah,
That doesn't matter to me.
not looking to get you. I ain't looking to get mutated.
And it's 100 degrees.
The problem with that room is that something in there had a time limit on it, and it ran out. However long ago.
So good news, though. It's the only one that is confirmed to be locked.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what the alarm was. Something went off in there and it auto-locked. Well, I suppose we'll find out later. Otherwise, this little morning message ain't doing me much good. He'll close out of that screen.
All right. Yeah, you pull out back to the main screen. There's still that pulsing notification. It didn't seem to go away just by looking at it, annoyingly so. And then you have the communication links to 3 other biospheres, as well as a pretty generic title of personal logs.
Not gonna risk accidentally opening an active communication with an enclave site, so let's go with reading the logs first.
All right. So we're going to have to do this slightly differently because part of it wouldn't upload. That was the whole megabyte discussion. But I will play one via Roll20, and I will play the other one via my computer. So I will need you guys to tune in either on Twitch to listen to that or on Roll20 to listen to the other one. I apologize for the difference. Is there one that you guys would prefer to do first? I can tell you the dates for both, if that affects your decision at all.
My vote is for the earliest one.
Yeah, listen to them in order. Makes the most sense.
Listen to them in order. Okay. So that would be the Roll20 one first. So let me cue that one up. Make sure your volume is adjusted so that
Check.
this doesn't blow your eardrums off, hopefully. All right. December 18th, 2078. It has been some time since my last entry, due to the amount of upkeep needed on the experiments, given our limited number of able bodies, but I am proud to announce that Experiment 1 for the biological radiation filter is a confirmed success for its first official assessment. In the days since Mr. Gibbons has been cleared by Dr. Takara, he has been working non-stop on the water filter, and as a result, the water is running crystal clear. The little radiation that makes its way into the water from the surface is then removed by those little leeches, just as planned. A handy little invention those slimy creatures are turning out to be. Now to make sure it works on some of our other radiated creatures. On a more personal note, Grace's pregnancy is going well, about 4 months along now. However, she's becoming increasingly more agitated with me lately, as I've been spending a lot of time in room 3. She just doesn't seem to understand the importance of the work needed in that room. Understanding the reason behind the spore cloud could be the key to making sure the aggressive tendencies of the creatures we capture is greatly diminished. It will make performing the testing on them so much easier. Why can't she understand that?
Oh no.
Leeches.
Oh,
Leeches.
I think I know who's the spore carrier was now.
Who's so
That's a
cuddly?
shame.
Leeches are so cuddly, guys.
Experiment 1.
All right, I've got a plan. We release Experiment 1 into Experiment 2 and let them duke it out.
I mean, I guess one option is just opening all the doors, making a racket, and going up the elevator, see how they interact with each other. That also seems like the most terrible option we could possibly conceive of.
Yep.
I feel like we're just asking for the strongest of it all to come running up here afterwards.
Ah, see, when they duke it out and we found the strongest, that's the one we release into the wasteland.
I feel that that's also a poor decision.
That is an awful idea.
Though, you guys did pick up on the fact that the leeches scrub the radiation from the water, yes?
Right,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
is
we
an
picked that
important note.
I feel like that's still happening, unless someone's skin would be falling off from that shower y'all took.
Alright, and the ambient radiation level in Experiment 1 is pretty low. The biological radiation's very high, which means I suppose they're doing their job.
If we end up releasing anything out into the wild, I would recommend those.
Yeah,
Seems like they could do some benefits.
That could be a legitimately good idea. Unless we capitalize on the fact that we can create purified water here.
I am all for business, but
That's just asking
That one's
for
a little
people to come invade.
and I'd rather stick to guns. I know guns. I don't know biological.
Fair enough.
I know farming, but this is starting to fall well beyond me.
If we do release them somewhere, we would have to bring them some place that we know they'll flourish.
And
we could.
Depending on their size, transportation of such a creature may prove difficult.
Have to get a big old water tank, and that don't seem possible. Maybe with Anders' new power armor, but take a long time to craft.
Now I'm thinking of your idea, Ethan. We did have caravans that would transport water throughout all of New California. This, I'm not saying we hoard it, but I am saying that there is
Distributed at the least.
a market for something so pure and clean.
Yeah, to let you know, Julie, I will say, you mentioned farming is kind of your background, as well as you kind of passed through Sans Rest, so you would know, obviously, the water filtration idea would help thousands of people, and anybody you guys have come across would be happy to have something like that if that were really the case. And from a farming aspect, Julie, you know that when you left Sans Rest, there was talk of something, they were having difficulty growing the crops with the rain that was happening recently. There were strange pockets of rainstorms that seemed to be doing something to the soil or the crops that wasn't going over well. But the elders assured you before you left that it was just a fluke, that this stuff happened sometimes. So, but you're sure that if you could recover anything, I'm sure Sans Rest would be happy to have it, as would anybody.
Did anyone eat any of the fruit in room 3?
Somebody
No,
grabbed
we got-
one.
I don't think so.
We got fucking wrecked first.
We got wrecked first. That's right. We never got a chance to. I never got a chance to actually look at the fruit and see if it was edible.
You remember what started the combat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what started
someone
the
grabbed
combat
fruit.
was me taking a fruit. So I don't want to do that again.
We'll just
I
do a whole really
kind of
long
wanna-
reaching pole and like.
I
you don't
kind of
wanna-
want to do that.
Fuck
again.
you, we're not doing this.
Can you tape a bunch
That's
of
a
pencils together,
Wonderful
please?
idea.
Listen. You can grow plants from stems and bits of other plants. I'm not suggesting we pick fights again, but yeah, there's a lot of places that are not doing well in the radiation. There's a lot of people starving. If we found food down here that can survive intense radiation and be edible, we need to bring that to the surface.
Our only question is testing if it's safe to eat, because I'm not about to try myself.
I'll look it over before anyone tries. I'm used to being around irradiated foodstuffs.
Well,
And
there's no
hell,
harm in
we
trying.
do have someone here that is immune to the effects of radiation.
But that won't help us know if it's safe to eat.
Well,
I
you
can eat a
still
lot
feel-
of bullshit before I go down.
You still feel a little tingly, right, when you experience radiation? Or is it just kind of day by day? You don't notice it no more?
I am totally immune to all radiation. I don't know if I would even necessarily feel it.
DMs?
I have no fucking idea.
All right, I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question is, if radiation passes through Anders' systems, does he even know it's happening, or is he completely unaware of it?
You know how certain people like eating really spicy foods? And what it does to your digestion area, some people are like, I can deal with that. That's kind of what happens to Anders. Like, it doesn't physically harm you. Your tummy grumbles a bit, and you have the poops for a couple days, but you're good.
But like the point of the question is,
Would he know if he was eating something irradiated?
Yes.
or more specifically, would me eating something let me tell them that it's safe for them to eat?
Safe in terms of radiation or no? I mean,
safe in terms of fucking safe for humans' consumption.
I mean, anybody can tell it.
It's bad for us.
Yes, you can physically, and humans or Anders would be able to tell general rot on any kind of food. As far as radiation goes, Anders, you get the tum-tum hurts, as well as when working, your very temperamental Pip-Boy goes tick-tick-tick-tick-tick-tick-tick-tick. If you have anything.
Just smash the fruit into the fucking...
Some fucking Gallagher shit.
If you had gotten the extension that juices for your Pip-Boy.
Well, we could always just bring some of the fruit up here and then walk the Pip-Boy towards it and see if it gets a tick when it's cut open or juiced or what have you.
All right, I am willing to test this experiment. You are grabbing the fruit.
I
Fair
can
enough.
do that.
Anders wants to be fed. Got it.
But let's just listen to the rest of the logs when we got
That's
them.
somebody's
Let's
fetish,
do that.
sure.
In case they decide to talk about the potentially
The
deadly
fruit
or not
suddenly
fruit.
tried to kill everyone.
Really
Not the
regret.
plant monsters. The fruit.
What is this? Attack of the 50-foot tomato?
Yes.
Facility's not large enough for 50-foot
I want
tomatoes.
to change the giant peach.
Alrighty, so if you guys would like to listen to the other one, we can absolutely
yeah, it is.
do
We can
that.
fit a 50-foot tomato in this room.
I was
Yeah.
just kidding.
Ceilings.
I mean, also-
I'm just being an ass.
You can have a bunch of scientists in a facility, or you can have one 50-foot tomato. It's your choice.
I know my choice, and it would make a lot of marinara sauce. Anyway, that second log entry.
Alright, for
The
the...
next one chronologically.
Yes.
Need to tune into Twitch for this one.
Yes, you will need to tune into Twitch, so, I'll give you guys a minute
Alright.
to do that, and then I will just play. I apologize for this weird way of doing it, but, roll 20 audio. It's good stuff.
Duplicated audio.
Why is my health bar the only one visible on Twitch?
Huh?
Because you're a cannibal.
I'm gonna find a way to throw a marker at someone through the internet.
Alright, so I will start on... this one is dated... okay, so the last one was dated 12/18/2078. This one is the next one that you see available. You do see a couple dashes, Ethan, in between. A number of dashes. I think it's 1, 2... You see about 3 dashes in between, as well as 2 dashes after this one. But here, this one is 8/21/2079. Sorry, 2179. August 21st, 2179. Today, Hope is celebrating her 101st birthday. Since we started using some of the results from Experiment 2, we weren't sure how her body would react. That room held some bad side effects from some of the creatures kept in there, but some of them are still alive from when this facility was first operational. Since only some of the experiments were successful, it was a risk, but with time running out, we had to try something. Today was a milestone that shows how well the age-slowing effect is working. She is still able to help me keep a status on the experiments here. She taught me about the intended benefits for each one, and even though Experiment 3 is a loss, the others are still performing as intended. As long as we are able to set the door and airlocking mechanisms for each room, we have the best chance at success. She has much hope that one day we will be able to share the results with people on the surface. Thinking back to when I first arrived here, I can barely remember my savage side. The experiments he performed, my anger, that old life is a blur. Now all I remember is Hope. She gave me the ability to communicate, even though we use her voice as the sample. She taught me the words to express myself. She showed me, with kindness and patience, that people can be trusted.
4.
Yeah, that was a bit lengthy.
Fuck.
So yeah, Ethan, that was the next one you played. You see 3 dashes before that entry, 2 dashes below that entry.
And are these dashes like other corrupted logs, or?
Exactly. And you see a fancy holotape recording thing near the key on the computer.
Is there one in it right now?
There is not.
Now, last time we faced these corrupted recordings, we did face corrupted recordings previously, right?
That is correct.
And when we put a holotape in, we were able to record those recordings, right?
That is correct.
Chunk.
Okay. So, you guys we'll kind of have to retcon some stuff here because I searched for it and I just couldn't figure out exactly how many holotapes you guys took from
3.
the room. 3
yeah.
blank or 3
blank.
total?
3 blank ones.
One. Do I have it right?
Yeah, exactly. I listened and it was very
total ones.
3 total
I think
one.
Because we have a written on holotape currently in my wrist right now.
Now, I mean, I'll have to work with you guys that have more Fallout lore than I do. I assumed, I guess, that they worked like cassette tapes, and I'm inclined to let that happen like such, in that you can record over it. I mean, not two-sided kind of thing, but like you can record over. So everyone is potentially a blank one if you want it to be.
Yes, and we had done that a couple of times with the previous entries and uploaded them into 1218 in order to
So safely assume that you guys, if you want to record over the previous recordings, you can do so and capture all 5 of the corrupted ones that Ethan sees there, if you'd like to do that.
I already put in the one that we have written on.
All right. So you guys go ahead and slowly start that process. Now, I would say that the transfer process takes probably, you're not sure, but pulling that off of there takes about 10-15 minutes per tape, per recording. And then as far as decrypting it, what we're going to do going forward is, to avoid a kind of info dump, we're going to have you guys spend a certain amount of downtime to get them. Now that can be 1218 or anybody. What that's going to mean is if any one person spends insert hours of downtime here trying to decrypt it that is capable of doing so, you will roll a D100. Only certain numbers unlock certain tapes, and when you unlock those tapes, we will, publish the recordings.
So what you're saying is we should take a long rest right the fuck now. And get to work.
Well, there's
if you don't want
potentially 3 things to do first.
If you don't want to or need to rest, you can absolutely do that.
Oh, the communications.
Communications with the other 1, 2, and 3 hub.
Okay, yeah, we gotta do that first.
Or we could not, because like you said earlier, Ethan, don't want to risk communicating with another Enclave outpost.
But that was 200 years ago. Certainly, they're all fucked off by now, right?
Possibly. One of the experiments was to enhance and extend lifespans. Who knows if the stations
yeah, you're right.
Doing the same.
Was extending lifespans a different thing, or was that just room 2?
That was room 2.
It was room 2.
Yep.
So we have no idea what the other places are.
Do I think that when she says in that recording that room 3 was a failure, do I think that's because the people in it turned into spore carriers and the mushrooms turned evil? Or or is that more of everything in there has gone bad?
From the recording, you're not quite sure what that person was trying to say. I mean, you do know that it was just a general failure. They were being pretty vague about it. Having experience in room 3, and putting together the pieces that you know so far, you're gonna guess it had to do with the dead person in there, maybe. Being related to the person that did the recording, or at least they knew that there was a dead person in there, and they're like, yeah, failure. Although it's weird that they didn't lock it, but yeah, it's probably due to the fact that that room ate somebody, essentially.
Awesome.
That usually indicates a failure in the scientific community when the experiments start eating you.
I don't know. They opened like 5 Jurassic Parks after that place kept eating.
But they're so profitable.
I mean, I'm not gonna say experiments that eat people, not necessarily a failure. Experiments designed to reduce aggression, eating people, almost definitely a failure.
Yes.
The first Jurassic World movies kind of hinted that they were trying to do dinosaur human hybrid. I did not see the second one. I don't know if that panned out.
I'm hearing they want dinosaurs, Sen. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm
Oh,
hearing
yeah.
this is going
I'm
to
in.
turn into the Super Mario Brothers movie.
That's fine.
Oh
Dinosaurs.
no! Ugh.
Well,
Get
we're talking
outta
about
here
human
with that.
dinosaurs.
Goombas, quote unquote.
Do not like. Do not like.
Bad touch.
Oh my god!
Hmm.
Holy shit! Sorry, popping into character. Who's talking in that recording?
She said savage ways. I'm thinking someone from the surface.
No.
Also talked about how this Hope person gave her speech and taught her how to talk.
Yes. And didn't we just decode a recording about a helmet that lets someone?
Oh, fuck.
There's something that has gained sentience.
What if it's room 2?
I don't think they're a fan of people
Room-
anymore.
What did room 2 look like again?
Room 2.
As
Is
we
room 2 the one
pan.
with all the teeth?
I think the
Room 2 is tooth room.
Room 2 is sentient. Cool.
Room 2 is Tooth Room, and Room 2 is also the
Room 2
longevity room.
could be sentient.
Room 2 is also the one that they referenced as the longevity room.
I
You-
feel like there's
I feel like there's a
contradictions there
lot
because if
going
I
on
walk
there.
in that room, I'm certainly not going to live longer.
So you think? Which one was
What?
4? 4 was the
How does
the
a
bridge, the log bridge.
4 is the bridge, 3 was the butterflies, 2 is the tooth room, and 1 is leeches.
Or I have a more horrifying concept. What if Hope is still in room 2?
Oh god.
What?
All right.
Like one of you?
What do you
I
mean?
don't know how much of this I want to find out.
Ethan
Well, I
was
mean-
so eager for the computer, but
You're older than all of us, aren't you?
I suppose.
ooh.
Wait,
Uh,
Candace is actually.
Hi. Hi there.
And we have 1218's an unknown. Anders was from before the war.
Sitting at a good 240 over here, just chilling.
What if the experiments of Room 2 ended up doing something similar to her that happened to you?
And it's just kind of.
I
Can
don't
you
think a
sit in
Google
power
would be
armor?
considered a success.
Can you sit in
Okay.
power armor?
Yes.
Anders is just gonna just like fucking sit on the floor and just
Well,
not be responding at all.
there is no radiation in room 2 either. None. Some of the plants have gone to hell, but
Some of them haven't. theoretically.
Yeah, you guys know room 2 is titled as mutation suppressant.
I would feel as though they wouldn't call a room designed to suppress mutations ghouling someone out as a success.
What if they didn't know it ghouled them?
I
I'm
mean,
sure Anders didn't look any different whenever he was initially, well,
I mean, how quickly did you go from looking like Bishop to looking like yourself after the bombs fell?
Anders isn't paying attention to you right now.
Anders, there's some blocks over by where Julie was hanging out if you want to...
No. Like, Anders is just, like, sitting on the ground, just like brain cogs just grinding against each other. What? Sorry, did you say something to me?
Anders, how long did it take for you to go from normal person to ghoul?
Years? Decades, maybe? A while.
But at the same time, the recording said they'd been celebrating her, 104th birthday?
101st, yep.
That's... They wouldn't have brought someone old into a science. I don't know.
So we'll have to go check out the room. But later.
I think we need to resupply first, but before we leave, I do want to see about that.
Didn't something just talk about a pregnancy?
yes, the first log did. Talking.
Yeah,
about
they were
Grace.
pregnant with Grace was pregnant with presumably Hope, who is the woman who reached at least 101 years old.
What was the date difference between the two logs?
101.
About 101
Oh.
years, yeah.
Yeah, so the difference is exactly 101 between the doctor administrator and the other one that you guys heard.
The whoever using Hope's voice.
Indeed. And who is Hope? So, other things that you can do, Ethan, as you guys are kind of going back and forth about who's oldest and Anders decides to sit down, you can click on the other Biocenter communication links, or you guys can continue, if you have even started, trying to pull off the decrypted tapes. Or you guys can just up and leave altogether. I'm sure there's nothing valuable in any of the other rooms.
Well, that's going to be Bishop's go-to, is finish looting the freaking place like we were planning on.
Yeah.
Or Julie can, talk to the gods or whatever, however she thematically did that before. How did you do that, Julie? Like in a world with no magics.
Thinks really hard.
It looks like
the thing says intuition.
She's being
very wise.
She's putting on her Sherlock Holmes hat and
exactly
looking around,
18 points of wise.
All right, y'all. Let's form together a plan of attack. Again, not with our new updated information. So there's a couple things we want to do. We got the rest of the facility, just besides those 3 rooms, we got the rest of the facility just to double check, make sure we have seen everything. Bishop sounded interested in doing that, so maybe Anders wants to join him. There's also the 3 remaining rooms, of which we should probably not touch for quite some time. Except maybe room 1, just to see if the leeches are still, or just to confirm that the leeches are still going about their business.
I don't want to go into room 1 because I am literally made of radiation. That would be bad for me.
That is a very good point. So maybe Julia or I can do that, because we can get out quietly, hopefully not even alert the leeches, just make sure they're still purifying as they do. We also want to test some of that fruit.
I want to do that before we leave. I want to make sure we have something we can at least know whether or not it's worth trying to plant this stuff elsewhere.
Right. 1218, you are a computer, so you might be the best one to help with the decoding or possibly even communicating with another enclave set. But that should be the last thing we do in case it goes to hell.
Didn't we read a log where someone was trying to contact other enclave bases and could not?
Are you asking if you heard that?
I am asking if several weeks
It's
ago.
in the logs, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, okay.
200 years ago, yeah. They weren't able to contact the other.
And I assume you guys can see the items that are in the jukebox? Maybe not. If you can't.
No, we cannot.
Okay, so if
No, we cannot.
for the most part, if you guys want to hear, so you have the one that you just heard, the 1218 2078, you also have available to listen to again until you record over it, 310 2093 and 1122 2077. If you'd like to listen to any of those again, just let me know.
It's like 3 years ago.
No, we're in
2280.
2277.
That's what I said, like 2277 was like 3 years ago from where we are.
203 years ago.
There, it said 2077, not 2277.
Yeah, sorry.
The first thing that I want to decrypt is the last log.
Yeah, that's a bad
Okay.
idea. Get the most recent on what was going down. We can patch the rest of the story up after.
Okay. So what we're going to say is for decrypting from now on, each person that wants to attempt to decrypt it can roll a D100. What you can do is try and decrypt one in particular. If you specify that one, you are only attempting to decrypt that one. Otherwise, you can say, I'm just trying to, I'm messing with all of them over the course of 4 hours. You roll a D100, and if you hit any of them, you get that tape.
Can multiple people work on this at the same
Yep.
time, or do we? Okay. So it's 4 hours to try to decrypt.
You take 4 hours. For every 4 hours, you get one D100 roll per one person doing it. And then if you hit any of the numbers, you will reveal that holotape. There's no benefit to try and say, I want that one. It's just you roll, and if you hit any of them, you get that holotape decrypted.
All right. 8 hours, 5 people. We can do 10 shots at this.
Before we stop messing with this, Ethan, you want to go back down to room 3?
Yeah, that'll only take like 5 or 10 minutes to do.
I'll
That'll
stay.
be good.
I'll stay outside the room.
1218 will
Appreciate
go
it.
with them because he's not radioactive nor full of meat. So Hopefully that will be a benefit.
Yes.
Two
Oh,
of
down
them
there, we
should
should
be able
also
to get
check
in or
room
out.
one.
Most of whatever was in there is now dead. I don't think anything would have stayed hidden with all that commotion.
Exactly.
Just in case.
You say that.
But I do appreciate having at least someone
Backup.
at the door in case we yell.
Right, we'll head back down to room 3.
Who's heading down?
Myself, Ethan, Anders, and 1218.
But only the sneaky tour.
Yeah, I think it's just
Delving
going to
deep
be me
into the
and
room.
Ethan going in.
So Bishop is the only one staying up in the center terminal area?
No, Bishop's going
Okay.
and checking all of the other rooms. Not the experiment rooms, mind you.
Okay.
He's in loot mode.
Oh, you're going through all, like, the bunks and things like that? Like the personal areas? Okay.
Yep, loot mode.
Loot mode. Alright. Okay, so let's join the party downstairs. What are you guys looking for in this room?
We want
Fruit.
to get fruit
Get some
and
fruit.
clipping and plant clippings if we can. But first, I want to make sure nothing's going to come alive.
Yeah. Ethan will use he'll hold his long neck rifle by the barrel and and he'll poke one of the plants with the butt from as far away as possible.
Yeah, you, sure, you can poke a plant with the butt of your rifle, and it wiggles slightly and does nothing.
Fantastic.
Julie...
Oh, I also think at the very end of the session, I swept the entire room.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, Julie, you know. There, you guys, you cleared all the threats, aside from just generally ingesting what's near your face. There's nothing that even is remotely threatening. But, eating random plants is a risk even outside of a bright, glowy room that just tried to kill you, so.
So
Actually,
we will...
before we go and try and grab these fruits, maybe we should get Anders in here. He's got the clickety clack.
Well, we're just in here,
And this is okay out here.
Damn you!
we were in here, and he picked up a fruit and didn't get a buzz, so...
That's fair. All right.
No guarantee that my thing was fucking working then, though.
Let's collect some fruit.
Okay, Anders, you stomping in?
No, I'm not getting in there.
Okay.
I am the rescue squad. You guys are getting the fruit, and you are
Yeah,
bringing
I'll
it
go
to
in.
my face.
I will, with my farm knowledge, I will gather some fruit, and I will gather at least one of each type, a piece of fruit on a long branch or stem that it's hanging. I will gather the whole branch so that it can be replanted if we find out that these are not going to kill us upon ingestion.
Sure. Yeah, you Julie braves entering the room and grabbing the fruits. You guys know, based on your ridiculous nature rolls, that there are 2 different kinds, basically lemons and limes, if you're going by just what you guys are referencing from the outside world in here. Can you grab one of each, or you just grabbing as many as you can?
I'll grab a few of each, and then, like I said, the branches of some of them that are hanging.
Oh, sure.
Removing the fruit, I want to make clippings that can be replanted into the ground.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and you just want one branch of each kind or multiples of each?
For now, one branch. I don't want to disturb the plant itself by taking too much.
Yeah. Alright, so go ahead and put...
loose fruit and then clippings.
Yeah, you can put, yeah, I would assume you're keeping it in your inventory, so go ahead and add the fruits, however many you take to your inventory of each. You can just call them lemons and limes. And then you can put however many clippings you're taking of each as well. being up close to him, you can see kind of why Anders maybe couldn't resist the first time touching him. They're just look very juicy, very dewy, just as if nothing deadly happened in this room at all.
Okay, and then I will leave with my success.
Alrighty. So, are you rubbing it in Anders' face at all that you're kind of walking out without stuff attacking you?
Not rubbing, but pushing one towards his mouth area.
That's not what she meant by that turn of phrase. But okay.
I know, but it is
Are you
convenient that's where one of the fruits are going.
are you gonna peel it, or am I just eating through the rind here?
I'm just handing it to you.
Look at these fucking monster hands I have right now. I cannot
Might be a
peel a
little,
fruit.
A little hard for him to peel that by himself.
And no, I'm not getting out of the power armor. Don't ask.
I will. Are they? I assume they're like overly bulbous and.
Oh yeah. They're like regular lemons and limes, but like, times 3 size. They're dewy, but not in a gross way on the outside. They're not slimy at all. They just look like they're just perfectly ripe. Even though you've never seen this fruit before exactly, you would describe it as that.
We'll take it back to the safe room with the computers, and
Sure.
I'll chef. I have a cooking kit. I'll chef my way to giving Anders lime.
Just peel a fucking lime and put the pieces in my hand. Please.
I peel a lime.
She chefs it up. Yep. I mean, don't credit where credit's due here. You have the kit for something. All right, so you expertly, maybe even like chop it up like bartenders do, to hang on the side of the cup or
this
something.
This is an experiment. I'm making pieces so we can see.
Yeah, you're not being
how the
savages
shit
here.
reacts.
I want to make it a delicacy. But all right, so you plate that up on some random clipboard that you have nearby. You just handing it over to Anders for eating.
Yep, I'm giving him half of the cut up lime in pieces. I want to see if that does anything to him.
All right. What did the rest of you guys? Everybody's up here now, right? I assume. Or Bishop, you're still. Let's resolve yours before we go further with Anders and the lime clipboard.
Yeah.
In the exploration of the other rooms, let's move Bishop over to this map here. All right. Oh, I gotta zoom out even more. Sorry. Okay. So, you, Bishop, you guys have come around to about this far. I think past that, it's really just been kind of Julie exploring, if I remember correctly. Julie, I know, kind of explored down here.
Yeah.
And that's about
I
as far.
took that room mostly apart. I can't see a map.
Oh,
I can see a map.
I can see a map.
Well, 20's being weird.
Yeah.
You're
It is.
confident.
It is the main map over here.
Yeah,
And
it was blank screen. It was blank screen for me.
oh, weird.
There we go.
All right. So I believe Julie kind of explored down here and communicated back to you guys that it was kind of like a lockers area, and you kind of looted that. You see.
There was also a rec room past there, correct? I remember, like billiards and stuff.
Yeah, like, an old billiards table, just dart board, kind of boring stuff. A couple weight things, but they look very minor. Not a very impressive rec room. Scientists, though.
More
They
than
don't like
I've
that
ever
fun.
had.
So in exploring further, Bishop, I assume maybe you can move your character to where you want to explore, but depending on where you want to go, you're going to see mostly much of the same that you saw above. In the room, I think everything's revealed to you guys, yeah. So in this room here, you come across a similar scene as the one up top that had like the disgusting bloodied blankets and whatnot. Although this one is much more contained, even though the picture doesn't describe it as such. It's much more centralized to the pillow area. As far as the disgusting stuff goes, it's not splattered all over the walls, really. It's just much more centralized in here. None of these rooms have any computers, although you do in this room find a spare holotape underneath the bed.
Cool.
It looks as if this holotape has a bit of goop on it. It's dark, like brown, similar in color to what is on the pillow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I suppose continue checking all the rooms.
As you proceed down that side, as you're making your way down, not town, these rooms do seem to be very basic, just bunklery, no accessories, no personal effects in any of them. All standardized, all very neat and clean. Seems like some robots do clean some rooms. As you approach the end, you're greeted by this slightly larger cage. It looks as though it is connected up top. Right now, the top latch is actually held open, and there is a hole in the wall / ceiling. It looks like anything that would come tumbling out of that hole would tumble into this cage.
Could I make a educated guess that the chute thing that we were jumping over led into that cage?
I mean, it's possible. That is a pretty long tumble. Is your first thought if it was mitigated in some way, or if you really didn't care how banged up something was when it fell down? It could be serviceable that way, yeah.
And I guess there's really not much left to check on this floor, is there?
As you keep going, this looks just like another set of bathrooms, just like the other ones over there, over on the other side.
Anything like medicine cabinet-wise, soap, anything of that nature?
Yeah, you give me a D20, and you find a couple bars of soap. Actually, this bathroom looks a lot less used than the other one. Okay. Let me see how that shakes out. But yeah, this bathroom looks a lot cleaner, a lot less used. Maybe it has something to do with the proximity to the creepy cage being nearby down there. I don't know. This just wasn't the most popular of the ones that they had available. I will figure out what you find in that bathroom in just a second. But that does kind of bring you back around to the elevator area, and you've kind of made it full circle. You are standing kind of right over right now the room that you guys were just in, room number 3. Kind of looks a little creepier from this viewpoint. You're like, God, why didn't I see those butterflies?
To be fair, I don't think Bishop would be looking at the experiment rooms right now.
He's distracted by the other rooms and whatnots. But assuming that you come back to the center,
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of a panicked look in his eyes, but otherwise, yeah.
Actually, Bishop, can you give me a perception check? Sorry that I'm a little late here.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, so that room that you saw that you found the holotape on, the spatterings, given your history and your expertise with guns, I'm going to say that you're pretty sure that some kind of explosive device is what caused that. Is some centralized something. You're pretty aware of what guns can do and how they splatter. You're not sure what type of gun, but that looks to be a gunshot to the head.
Gotcha.
And in that bathroom, you were able to find some Calmex, and you were able to find a package of painkillers as well.
Calmex and painkillers. Okay, as well as a couple bars of soap.
Yes, soap, which might be even more worth it. They don't even look used yet. You still see the gross stamped logo of a dove? I don't know. Or a four-leaf clover, whatever you want.
Whichever one is the least copyrighted for this broadcast.
Yeah, right. It smells minty and like a Scottish spring of some kind. Anyway. You enter back into the room, and you find Julie. Julie, did you whip out an apron for this? It seems like you don't get to use your cooking skills nearly as often as you might want to.
In the 3 days I have been with this group, I've cooked twice now.
The flaying of the meat.
I get to use this is the most often used tool.
All right, so you see Julie filleting up a lime to give to Anders. Hands it over to Anders. Anders, what are you doing? Just nom 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 nom.
My goddamned mouth.
You're like, this is a lot of weight for fruit.
I asked for this lime 20 minutes ago. What are you doing?
Yep. And on that note, as soon as he puts it in his mouth, Bishop's like, Anders, catch, and tosses the holotape at him.
Okay.
There's a very distinct chance I might fucking crush this holotape. Way to go.
I try to intercept the holotape before Anders crushes it.
So it sounds like there's a lot of things going on here. So we've got a tape flying in the air. So, Anders, I'm going to need you to make a... So first, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw. And then I will need a contested acrobatics or athletics check between Julie and Anders.
Oh my god.
20.
Okay, so
this is making up for all of the 5s I rolled last game.
Yeah, so Bishop, you're like, Anders, hey, catch, and slow-mo twirls towards you this gross tape spewing out some of the brown goop that was still on it all over, maybe over 12-18's face a little bit. And Julie, Anders, you have your hand out, but you kind of almost don't want to catch it. Maybe that was it, because you're like, I'm going to smash this thing, plus nom nom lime. Julie, you jump over like a volleyball player ready to hit that ball. You just kind of sideways zoom in front of Anders and grab the tape. Maybe regretting it a little bit once you get some of that brown goop all over your hand.
Bishop gets disapproving line face.
Yeah, 12-18. You almost look a little winky face with that little brown goop on the front of your monitor, but it definitely is a frowny face also.
Bucket of bolts.
All right. And Anders, you're like, didn't catch it, meh. You bite down on the lime, and I need a D10 from you, sir.
Oh, what?
It's very...
10.
It's very deliciously fruity. And you're just kind of digging it. I mean, it's a little tart, but yeah, you were kind of expecting it to do something. But it just tastes a little tart to you. It's fine.
I'll have a little more.
All right, give me another wisdom save. You don't know what these weird flesh bags are confused about. These are just delicious, juicy, tart limes. You're digging it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah. That's not...
Yeah, I know. I did it to annoy you.
Being copyright conscious tonight.
And
Hey.
yeah, you're totally digging it. And you're digging the little, special cutting that Julie did. It's quite the fancy meal. It's very fresh. Maybe you're wondering what the lemon tastes like now, too.
Yeah, we might want to try all these, for science.
Are you feeling any radiation at all?
Am I feeling any radiation at all?
Very little. It didn't even register on your Pip-Boy when you were kind of grabbing the clipboard.
Oh, tons. Yeah, these aren't good for people. Just feed them all to me.
I feel like I need to make an insight check, but at the same time, I feel like I can tell he's bullshitting.
You can make an insight check with advantage because you don't hear his Pip-Boy, but you guys know that thing's also kind of... it seems almost as temperamental as Anders when it wants to work.
I'm not going to contest. Of course I'm bullshitting.
Yeah, you see Anders wink at you. You know he's full of shit.
All right, I will cut
seriously,
half of one of the lemons up and serve it to him as well.
Nom nom.
All right, can I get a charisma save from you, sir?
Oh, Jesus.
Charisma saves are something I'm actually good at for whatever reason.
Huh.
Okay, give me just a second here.
You should have failed one of these so I can see what happens when you don't do good.
I kind of do too. I want to know what's going wrong.
Well, I mean, if you hadn't gotten that 10, you would have figured out.
So for this, you take a bite of the lemon, and it is just as delicious. Can you give me a Let me see. Let's do a perception. Give me a perception check. Oh, awesome.
I'm just fucking nailing it right now.
You really are. You're in it. I don't know. There's something about the tart that's activating your brain. The smell from this reminds you of that moment upstairs when you were strung upside down and you got blasted with something in the face that made you, like, real chill, dude. Upstairs being in the mud tunnels before you guys got into here.
Oh,
wow. I think I know what's going on with the fruit.
Containment status unknown.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
What?
I mean, these are good, but remember when I got trapped upstairs a little bit? You had to save me, Jolie.
Kinda? Yeah.
You know, I got fucking puffed in the fucking face.
Yes.
I take one of the last pieces and it smelled a lot like this.
Interesting. What were the exact effects? Were you numbed or just describe this feeling to me?
Julie, I thought you were, cool. I don't think I would need to have to describe that to you.
I need to know so when I give this to other people, that they're aware of what's going to happen.
It felt like I was on drugs and I was really chilled out.
Okay.
Anders, you more accurately, if you feel like articulating, it was a very just all the urge that you had just naturally at a steady state to, myrtlate things, carry around dead bodies for no good reason. All of that is gone. Why can't everybody just get along? I'm even fine just hanging upside down here for a little while. It's all good. I mean, if that's what works for everybody.
To use some fancy terminology, it pacified me.
There you go.
This is actually...
That's something we need. Some in the
That's
wasteland.
kind of brilliant, actually. There's some, I believe the scientific term is righteous assholes in Sans Rest that could use pacifying.
Yeah, but if they ever get attacked by something, they're all gonna fucking die.
How
That
long
is a
was he
bro.
like that? Was that just like a 10-minute thing? Or...
Yeah, he was like that for a better part of an hour.
Okay. Okay.
Was there a third type of fruit, or was that it?
Just the two. And you enjoyed thoroughly them both.
Give me
Are
some more
we-
of that. Give me some more of that lime.
Are we thinking of bedding down here? I said, hand him another slice.
I think it's the only safe place we'll be able to take a solid rest before we get to Sans Rest.
I mean, I feel like it's been. I think it's only been like, because we slept here. Yes, we did take a long rest here. I remember that because I had time to work on the power armor.
We did,
Right.
and then we did things.
I feel like it's only been like 2 or 3 hours since we woke up.
It's probably been at most half a day.
Yeah, yep.
Because combat only took a couple of minutes.
As deadly as it was, that is accurate.
That was a very long combat, considering every round's only 6 seconds, though, too.
Yeah, that was significantly long. But Anders, do you have peace line? Did you lime?
Lime.
Wisdom save.
Gotta figure out.
There we go.
There we go.
About time.
Let's
give me a
find out
D10.
what it does.
And almost like you take that bite and you're chomp chomp chomp, and you hear your stomach go, and you really just kind of, you're afraid to move.
Saw that, Julie.
You're kind of just stuck in place. You're afraid any movement at all might cause more digestion to happen, and that didn't feel so good the first gurgle that it did.
Make another wisdom save.
My
There we
luck has
go.
run out.
Go ahead and roll a d10. You're still in your power armor, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
There's no helmet on the power armor. I can just spew freely.
It's the other end that he's concerned about.
Oh no!
So you've been paralyzed by digestion indecision, but it feels great right now. What do you wanna do?
Get out of my power armor immediately.
I think that's the first time
The
I would
oldies
ever
are-
consider this.
Because I don't want to shit myself. I don't
though
wanna-
That is.
I don't know what that has to do with power armor.
I don't want to shit in the power armor.
Well, power armor is all equipped with butt flaps now. They're new. They're with it.
Wait,
Go
this
ahead
thing
and
has
make another
butt-
wisdom save.
If you have the right parts, I'm sure it comes with butt flaps.
But does mine currently come with butt flaps?
No, you have to get the whole set to get the butt flap. The
Then
butt
I'm
flap
out
just
of the
doesn't
power
come.
armor.
Ah,
Yes.
So Ben, everything starts to haze over just a little bit. So like colors start to gray out a smidge. You're losing kind of that perception of how things are different. Everything's kind of becoming really the same. Go ahead and roll me a d10. And everybody else roll me perception.
Can do.
Can I instead roll an investigation to check out the auto dock machine?
Absolutely.
That shouldn't have been with advantage. 11.
So Julie, you've seen this before. You're like, yeah, it's just gonna like take an hour and it'll fade out. 12:18. While you're playing with the terminal, out of the corner of your eye, Andrews is behaving in the way that the meat bags generally start to go off the deep end. Starting like the way that his hands are twitching indicate that this might be a longer term issue than you would like in terms of taking care of humans.
I think he's going to go and help with the power armor situation, just try to pull him out of it, because
He was definitely cognizant, and he's able to get out. You kind of help him steady himself as he comes down. Bishop, as you touch and interact with the dock right down there, Ethan, you get a prompt, kind of as Bishop puts his hand on the console. Ethan, you get a prompt to, a prompt appears on your screen to activate AutoDock.
Ooh. Hey, Bishop. I can, seems like I can turn the thing on from here. You need any healing done?
Sorry, I missed whatever you just said. We were DM giggling.
He was trying to get Bishop's attention.
Oh,
about
yeah.
how he has the controls.
Is
and
Bishop
then-
talking to Ethan?
Is Bishop's mic muted?
I might be muted.
There you go.
He was just snubbing you.
I want to see what this thing can do.
So you touch it, you prompt it, and on the screen it says "See Administrator Terminal," and as you see that prompt appear on the screen, you can see Ethan looking up at you at the same time. And as you guys make eye contact, Ethan starts investigating that prompt. Anders, roll a d10.
Oh, Lord.
And as you stand stupefied, if this were a round of combat, you would not be making a wisdom save at the end of it. As everything has grayed out, it's very uniform. You see a robot standing in front of you, and part of you remembers that that's 1218, and another part of you registers that that's a standing robot. It's hard to differentiate between what or who 1218 is to you. The autodoc comes alive, and it seems like it has, Ethan, as you enter its prompt, it seems like it has some standardized functions of repairing broken limbs, removing some radiation, general diagnostic.
Twelve 18 is going to try to maybe maneuver, if he'll allow it, Anders to sit down, like nearby on the floor, just like leaning up against one of these terminals.
Yeah, Anders, you don't want to move yourself, like, at all, but, I mean, if you want to be dragged somewhere, you just don't want to move your body yourself. It's a lot of work. You aren't up for that. But if you want to be dragged...
I will not resist being dragged.
Alright, 1218. Drag the Anders where you want.
I was just gonna sit him down, like, over here, like, not far from where he is, just lean him up against the terminal for the moment.
Yeah. Maybe give him some reassuring pats, let him know it's okay if he shits his pants.
Happens when you're old.
I can medicine check.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I can medicine
Uh,
him to see what the effects are.
12, 18
outwardly.
can help if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
The two of them can go at it.
Fuck.
Okay. Yeah. You guys aren't sure. I mean, you guys are pretty adept at diagnosing regular humans, but ghouls' digestive systems, this is a little foreign to you. He does look kind of like cross-eyed, like he's just not seeing things clearly. His eyes are kind of dilated. It bears similarities, and especially Julie, being that you've only been with this group for so long, this is real reminiscent of the way his eyes looked kind of, before he got all jumpy and kind of Bishop when he was, you guys are all cannibals for the first time. It doesn't look friendly, doesn't look threatening, but it definitely, he's having trouble recognizing who you guys are.
To be fair, 1218 was doing a software update for that instance with Bishop.
There we go. That's why Julie's like, oh, I remember this look.
So, I'm not sure if these are food worthy. I'm having thoughts about other uses.
Anders, roll a d10.
And then Ethan, are you and Bishop aren't completely sidestepping to the other. You guys aren't entirely on the best of terms. Are you entering anything in, Bishop? Are you getting into the now open medical device?
I'm just poking through all of the options.
Ethan, so to be clear, sorry, Ethan has the options.
The options.
Yeah.
Like, I can purge your radiation, heal a limb, just do a general checkup if you think you're under the weather.
Is there
Anders,
a purge
can-
a body of drugs option?
Is it? Is there a purge? Fucking.
Or like poison?
That would be phenomenal.
Anders, everything for like as 1218 kind of sits you on the table, everything kind of coalesces back together. And like you can recognize people and things. You're not sure how or why you got where you were, but
What does that mean for me?
I mean, long story short, we're trying to do something that has round effects in 6 seconds. That's why we're kind of awkwardly jumping back
I
into.
understand.
Yeah. So you feel lucid for like the briefest of seconds. Is there anything that you would like to do with that said lucidity?
Don't eat the limes. I really just like want to grab 1218 by the chassis and just like, don't let them eat the limes.
Not going to happen.
Yeah. So the way this is going to happen, and we'll go.
Lime. So the limes go in the chest. Everything else.
Hold on.
You're gonna have to get a capacity check on your inner wall.
He only has the drugs and now limes, apparently.
I do not hand over the limes. I'm having thoughts for the limes.
Oh no, Andrews is not going to be okay with this.
Anders, roll a d10.
I'm having thoughts about things that can be
There we go.
Those can be used for.
Okay, Ethan, Bishop, bouncing back to you guys. Ethan, you're reading out what you can do.
That was me, sorry.
Listen, can you just transfer the controls over to this panel?
I can try.
You don't see an option for transfer controls over to this panel because that guy doesn't like talking to you. That doesn't seem to be an option. You do see lights over there, Bishop, kind of like in a row, and you're guessing that those are connected to which option Ethan would choose. So if he's reading them off in an order, you'd be able to verify that he chose the second one instead of the third one, if a distrust is your issue.
Anything the matter?
No, nothing. And Bishop's going to pull out his pack of tools and try to start taking a panel off to hotwire the thing.
Whoa now. Don't you go tampering with that. It's working perfectly good. We don't want to mess with it.
Yes, and I can make it work better.
Enlighten me.
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna worry about it when you're disassembling some perfectly working pre-war tech.
All right, so Bishop has tools out. Ethan, are you vacating your position to go and keep him from disassembling something else?
If Bishop is actively gonna try and disassemble this, Ethan will make a note of don't let him. Head on over to him.
Okay.
Better start walking then, buddy.
All right, Julian 1218 bouncing back to over there. You hear bickering from Bishop and Ethan, which is nothing new as of late, and you're currently trying to keep Anders both lucid and from shitting his pants. What are you guys doing in the briefest of seconds before you seem to think that he'll have another D10 to roll?
Was there an answer about the thing being able to purge bodies of unwanted substances?
The device
I'm
that
not sure if that was on the list.
that wasn't specifically on the list, but there was a general diagnostic setting you think might apply. Mm-hmm.
Let's try that.
Let's do that.
Okay, you guys can start dragging him over there. Let's say
I
Go
think
ahead.
1218 could drag it. I'm gonna go get him water. Because there's fresh water here.
Good idea.
Okay. So it's probably 1218. It's gonna take you, I'm guessing, 2d10s worth of time from Anders to drag him over to the medical bot. As Julie's like, I'm gonna go get water. Where are you going for the water, Julie?
There's bathrooms with running water.
There are. You heading out to go to the bathroom you guys went to, or the other one?
I'll go to the bathroom we went to originally.
Cool. Yeah, you're able to find maybe the watering can or something to hold water in, unless you come with your own handy-dandy canteen cups. But you can fill that up.
I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure. Adventurers do. You go run and fill that up. In the meantime, 1218, drag Anders. Anders, go ahead and roll 2d10 separately, please. Okay, yeah.
So you don't resist at the very beginning. As the 1218's about to position you into the auto dock, everything comes back together again.
And as you're over there, about to be positioned, there's a lot going on there. So, Ethan, you've ran over to stop Bishop. Bishop, you're like toolbox, flip out and start tinkering. Are you letting Anders and 1218 getting by?
Yeah, I'll let Anders in.
Okay. Ethan, I'm guessing you're putting away your tools for now, then, Bishop, while Anders is kind of getting in.
I'll pause,
All right.
but I'm not going to stop entirely.
All right. You hold the tool at the ready. Anders, you get shoved into the thing. Ethan, you taking up mantle at the computer, or is somebody else going to do that?
1218, if you want to go use the computer, or if you want to stop Bishop from disassembling a perfectly good auto dock, your pick of responsibility.
I'm not disassembling it.
Well, he's already over here, so we might as well watch Bishop for tinkering.
Just don't let him take anything apart. 'Cause it's working. Let's not
As one of the
risk
side
make it
panels
not.
of the screen is just kind of dangling.
Ethan will make a note of trying to just set the screen back quickly.
You try and shove it back
Useful,
into.
doesn't need to be taken off. You don't need to touch it unless we find out there's a way to modify it so that it can purge Anders of his addiction.
Yeah. So the panel has one screw that's halfway back in as Ethan goes away, and it kind of does the thing where it swings down and kind of swings back and forth and reveals some of the wires to Bishop, so you can still see all the yummy innards of the thing that could be better. You're sure of it. Ethan, you take up your mantle back at the computer. What are you having done to Anders?
So, if you want to just run me through the options again, pretty sure.
There's the typical address, like a broken bones issue. There's the purge radiation, and then there's a general diagnostic.
Yeah, general diagnostic.
Okay. Anders, your last moments of sentience are being shoved into a giant robot. Anything you're doing or saying as that's happening?
I'm going to assume I recognize it since I've been inside this thing before.
Yep.
Guys, do something. This sucks a whole lot.
We're trying.
Thank you.
Oh, you've been farting this whole time, and now it's all for you, Anders. All for you in here.
I've been farting this whole time?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we mentioned shitting pants, so I think it's pretty safe to say other things have been coming out. But it's fruit-scented now.
Fair.
It went right through you.
That's probably worse.
So as you begin to operate, Ethan, as you enter this diagnostic, you're seeing a large number of scrolling text go by. As Anders, as you hear a little bit of movement from the inside of the auto dock, as you can hear some clamping happening. Anders, some pieces of metal start to restrain your arms and legs as a sensor kind of scrolls over up and down, not over your body in general, but actually each leg, each arm. It's a very quick process. It only takes about a minute. Ethan, you're getting a response here of unknown biological agent. You're also getting patient seriously over standard radiation limits. Getting back things like eyes dilated, non-responsive to color. It looks like there's some psychosomatic issues caused by this biological agent that's unknown. And then after that scan's fully done, it does prompt fix known issues. Y/N.
Oh no.
Wait, no. He
You
goes
already
to hit
said
yes,
yes.
and then he pauses and he's like, "That'll purge the radiation, which will probably kill him." He.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Ethan's gonna.
Are you letting anybody else know what you're seeing?
Yeah,
Ethan?
he's gonna. So, yo, obviously it's finding something. It's finding that he's got a whole lot of radiation in him. It's finding that he's got whatever that lemon put in him. And it's giving me the prompt to fix all problems.
Anders,
That sounds like a really bad option.
Anders, give me a perception check. And as you're continuing to discuss this, guys, Anders, you are hearing bits and pieces of this. Ethan's shouting back and forth, and you're hearing lots of radiation diagnosis, purge, all known. And then the machine, as it's done scanning you, it kind of goes to your eyes and does that horrible eye doctor poof air in your eyes thing, and so you're kind of blinking and you're hearing muffled voices.
Never had that before.
Oh, it's horrible.
You never had a glaucoma test?
No.
Wow.
Well,
Thank you for
they
that image.
put your face, they make you put your chin somewhere, and then they hold your eyes in a place, and then a machine comes in, they're like, now just open wide and like look straight this way, and they do like a trickery thing where they poof really fast cold air in your eye.
I know about it. My mom has glaucoma.
It's not
I know
fun.
about the test. Never had it happen to me before.
So they do that in one eye.
All
and-
you people that can see for free.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Mm-mm. They do that in one eye, and then they put some kind of liquid in the other one as far as eye drops. They start pulling on your ears a little bit as you start hearing them. You're just so distracted. But you can hear
There's
a few things.
Maybe a 20% chance that they're going to tear one of those off. Remember, I'm not held together super well.
Well,
Oh no!
1218 did stitch you back together that one time to make it your
That's true.
try.
Yeah, I mean, it's not being super rough with you. It's just kind of tug.
Okay.
It's not trying to rip limbs off. But yeah, are you have a few seconds to respond to all the mumblings of purge known things? If you want.
Wait, what was the question? Was it me?
I'm
Ethan
just
has
saying-
shouted out that he has the option to purge all problems. One of the problems is radiation.
I don't know that I would. What the fuck are you doing out there?
Probably something not good, so I'm not gonna.
Are you hitting
But
anything?
Ethan is gonna, since I have literally no idea how A, coding works, and B, coding in the Fallout universe works. I'm just gonna say, Ethan is gonna try and, like, get deeper into the options, because there's obviously the autodoc has the ability to list every process separately, so that must mean it lists its treatment separately, and he can manually activate and deactivate some of it.
You would think so. Not having seen this tech in a long time, or maybe ever this up close, you're not 100% sure. But you do remember being told that it was very detailed. You could diagnose and cure based on each individual issue. But right now, you are locked into options of escape, which just would open the door and he'd come out and stop all procedures. Yes, purge all, which you're kind of leaning towards, it would do something with that radiation. That shouldn't be there. It's going to fix it. Or no, which is kind of you're not sure.
He will do no, then, because it seems like the safest option.
Alright. No brings up a list of all the things that it diagnosed off of Anders, and you are able to select yes or no on purging all known effects from each one. So you guys can selectively purge everything except for the radiation, if you'd like.
Yes. Everything but radiation is a good option.
Everything but radiation? That's a lot of butt radiation.
Well, that's a good way to describe what that machine is doing to you right now, Anders.
Oh, come on! That's
no.
not fair.
Anyway, but, it cleanses you in ways that you're glad that there's not a full glass screen available for people to see. And after some time and some from inside the medical thing, it eventually opens up, and the inside is kind of wet, a little dripping. And you feel much better, Anders, in some ways, maybe not in others. It's up to you.
But did it detect his addiction? Nah, you'd never get rid of that easily.
I mean, it did say it requires specialized medical care. I don't know how much more specialized we're gonna get than a fucking robot doctor.
True.
This is true.
So first, I'm gonna need you to make me a con save, and then I'm gonna need you to make me a wisdom save.
What was the second save?
Wisdom.
Okay, so typically that wisdom save would have been made at disadvantage, but as you come out of the dock, you're a lot less shaky. Everything seems to just be a little bit slower, and you can focus on details a little bit better. And as that happens, you shake off all of the jitters from your other addiction as well. So you are actually wiped clean. That includes the previously mentioned mutation.
So clean slate with Enders. Other than cool.
At this point, I assume I come back with the watering pail full of water.
You know what? Hold on. I'm arguing with Kyle right now. Anders, that last statement is entirely up to you because I don't think you've revealed. So if you want that gone, it's gone. If you don't, it's not. If you know what I'm talking about.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
What kind of mutation, but
I don't think.
Radiation based of an action. Oh, because it was from eating that. Yeah, I'll.
I think since they specifically didn't target the radiation,
Yeah, that's what I was arguing
I
about.
still have the mutation.
Yep, sounds good. I don't know if you ever called it as such to other people. They did notice a difference in you at a certain point, but yeah. That sounds totally fair. Let's go with that. So, but hey, just clean slate for the drugs. You know what that does, though? It makes it like the first time again.
No.
I'm just saying.
Don't you
I didn't
put
say
that
that.
evil on me, Ricky Bob.
Your head.
And now Julie comes in with a canteen full of water.
I really want Julie to just throw it at his face, but
No, Julie will walk in, see that he's walking out like less shaky and more clear than he normally is, and go, "Good, I don't have to make a second trip to get water," which is what I was planning on doing.
aw.
So, given that I am less shaky, but I am still a little twitchy.
Okay.
What did I miss?
We use the auto dock and purge the lemon. And he we're going over what the auto dock I assume it has a diagnosis completed screen. Or
Wait a minute. That thing can purge poisons, radiation, stuff like that?
mm-hmm.
Can we shove Bishop in it now?
Do you say that out loud?
Yup.
I would love
I
to.
see no problems with this.
I would love to leave
Crap.
on this issue tonight. I mean, that's great. That'll do wonders for your relationship with Bishop, I'm sure. As
He
Ethan
was
giggles.
fine until that goddamn rain. Can we shove him in there now and see what the fuck has happened to him?
I agree
And-
with this. Grab attempt.
Oh.
No dice rolling.
I know.
Okay, so is that where we're picking up next week? If you guys are good with playing week 2.
Grab attempt is the cliffhammer, yeah. Cliffhammer? Cliffhanger.
Cliffhammer sounds about right if you're getting back in that
That's-
power armor.
Cliffhammer is now a dwarven town in my campaign.
Nobody finishes their sentences.
Or no. Cliffhammer is a magical weapon.
Ooh.
It just creates cliffs.
Nah,
Yes.
it gives you a climb speed when you're wielding it.
All right, so Kyle's going to. So we are wrapping up a little early because we got the kiddo, but we do want to figure out where are you guys like mentally at going forward now? You got some
Julius, we would
information.
try to make the lemons and the limes into a poison.
I have something about that.
Uh,
I'll let you know.
well, I think Kyle's going to give you some information on what you guys were able to pull out of the. You guys are able to pull out of the auto dock that the lemons and limes are essentially calm emotions and confusion with some modifications.
So the lemons, the yellow, are going to be calm emotion. Eating them and maybe in some way, shape, or form weaponizing them causes a DC 13 charisma save, or suffer the effects. Same with the green and the limes, DC 15, or suffer the effects of the confusion spell. It seems as though both of these are a 3 strikes and you're out for an hour type of deal. Which is why it showed Anders in such a easily confused position. And it does seem to last for 1 hour. There is a side note of prolonged exposure having potential additive and or permanent effects.
Permanent confusion. Yike.
But that is what you will glean out of there.
All right. I know what Anders is thinking. Anders needs to check experiment room 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anders needs to check the tooth room. He needs to
I've
face
been
his
muted.
fears. He needs to face his fears with flamethrower in hand and check room 2.
Well, now you're clear-headed ish.
Yeah. All the better to do that with.
Bishop, you said you were muted?
Yeah. Because I know what Bishop's going to be doing.
Getting shoved in an odd.
Nope.
No.
Anders is going to get stabbed in the chest with a screwdriver.
Oh.
What?
He comes out of that auto dock and immediately lunges for me. I'm going to think that you did something to him. Especially after Julie was like, "Can we shove him in there now?" And it's immediately, "Oh shit, the cannibals!"
Time. We will have to resolve this next time.
Yes,
That's
we will
going to
have
be
to.
very interesting.
All right, so wrestling between Bishop and Anders, the two that were previously getting along, are now somehow not. But Anders has an overall want for room 2, as does Ethan, and question mark others.
I think at some point our plan was to clear this entire place, so...
Yeah, we're just slowly going back to that plan after learning more about it.
Alrighty.
I have to amend my. I want to decrypt logs for at least a little bit.
Well, we need
Purge.
sleep at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still only been like a couple hours into the day.
I think they said
Yeah, it's still only like
6.
It's still only like.
DMs?
I think the DM said it was like 6.
So decrypting, basically, it's just going to be a randomized effort. It's going to be based on a D100 system. It's 4 hours, gets you a pop. 4 hours of downtime gets you a pop. It doesn't cost you any materials, but you get 1 roll, and if it matches any of the tape's numbers, you get that tape. Yes, we're going to play hide and go seek with the numbers of the tapes. let's see here. What else? So we're gonna have to resolve the bishop. The bishop of Furied for his life issue at the beginning of the session, and then I'm hearing room 2. In between that, I'm hearing something around a rest-ish, or some downtime-ish. Or is there a combination?
My
it's a
preferred order of
combination.
operations is resolve the bishop thing, do some decrypting, rest, room 2.
Mhm.
Who else is with
I'd
me?
agree with that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
fine.
good.
While you guys are decrypting, Bishop can maybe go around and start disassembling things.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how that ends.
Disassemble it if we can just
Yeah.
come back and use this as our base of operations.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will do a couple of rolls right now, just so we can do a little bit of expediting. Anybody who would be doing any sort of decrypting, go ahead and just spit out some D100s. If you guys are trying to do 8 hours and then 8 hours of rest and then resuming, I'm assuming that's kind of just what you guys did last time.
How many was that? A person? So 2?
Yeah, if that's what you're trying to do. If you want to spend your whole 8 hours. So that I can write these numbers on a post-it. Because I don't think I actually have the answer key. I think Sin has the answer key.
And my character knows nothing about computers.
Mine knows plenty, but I'm not going to roll until we resolve.
True.
Okay.
Your actions can change wildly depending on what goes on in that if that auto duck succeeds or not.
And then I'm going to assume that there's going to be an attempt at rest. So 4 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. I will need a total of 6 D20s.
I rolled a 20, not a D20. Hell yeah. Hey, look
Same
at that.
result.
Wow.
Worth it.
I just
He
knew it was
just
going to
gaming
happen.
the system.
So 18, you want to roll?
I have to roll. I rolled already.
I'll need a spare
Not a
D20
D20.
for the proposed 8 hours downtime and 8 hours rest.
That's all 6.
Okay, so we rolled the D100s. Okay. Yeah, so we'll pick up next week with resolving the Bishop Anders debacle. Anders, you're having a rough go of it the past hour or so.
I mean, to be fair, if Julie hadn't said anything, it probably would have just gone with it.
And then I'm not sure if Kyle asks, I had to step away. Was the Goopy holotape included in the list? Like, Julie, did you throw that down?
I still have that.
Okay.
A lot of things happened between holotape throne and this moment. I haven't had time to
Yeah.
do anything.
So yeah, we really didn't get to discuss that. That's going to require a bit of cleaning before any, like, popping
I'm
it
not
into something.
decrypting, so I could potentially be doing that.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to cost a full 8 hours of just, like unspooling, wiping. It's just really gross all over the place. But yeah, you can choose to spend chunks of time on that if you'd like. I assume you don't want to spend all night cleaning a holotape. But cool. Are you guys all good for next week and then the week after, just kind of back to back to back?
Yeah, should be.
Sure.
Sure am, I
Hopefully.
believe.
Alrighty. Well, I know we usually have princes going on soon after this, but Casey had to step away for a little while, TBD. So that will be on pause for now.
Yeah. No firebug.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's
But
okay.
we'll figure it out. We have lots of other games going on, so feel free to if you were in that game and you're sad, there's more games for you to jump into. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop the stream. So bye stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, okay. Not stopping stream.
You can find our game schedule at www.captainr3boot.com.
Oh, good lord. Thanks.
Find
Yes.
the link.
Yeah. What he said. There's a link somewhere. Oh my God, is
You
right.
gotta,
Sam.
you gotta plug, Sin. You gotta plug. Her.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.